Do you believe that just by standing still for 2 minutes, without any machines, without a gym, your body could become stronger, your mind steadier, and even awaken a hidden vitality after the age of 50? It sounds strange, doesn't it? But I want you to pause for a moment and imagine, what if a movement as simple as standing still could become the key to unlocking a later life full of health and meaning? Today, I'm going to share with you exactly that. The secret lies in the horse stance. You know, after the age of 50, the body begins to send us very clear signals. Sometimes, just trying to stand up from a chair requires pushing off with your hands, or climbing just a few steps leaves your heart racing and your knees feeling heavy. One of my patients, 68 years old, shared that he used to be very afraid every time he came back from the market, carrying bags up the steps. Not because the bags were too heavy, but because he worried his legs would slip and lose balance. And that fear is not uncommon. According to CDC data, more than 30% of people over the age of 65 have experienced at least one fall each year. That number isn't just a statistic, it represents millions of real stories of people just like you and me. Now, before we go any further, I want you to stand with me for 20 seconds right now. Place your feet slightly wider than your shoulders, lower your hips gently, keep your back straight. Let your body tell you what is happening. So, let me ask you this. If there were a very simple exercise requiring no equipment, no cost, and safe for your knees and body, but could help you regain stability and confidence in your movements, would you want to try it? I want you to imagine for a moment, hundreds of years ago, martial arts masters and wellness teachers in the East had a very simple secret. They didn't need to run for hours, nor did they lift heavy weights. Instead, they simply stood still. People called it the horse stance. At first glance, you might think, how could just standing do anything? But for generations, this stance has been used to build strength, improve balance, and cultivate inner stillness. And today, modern science has confirmed that this seemingly simple posture truly brings positive changes to our muscles, joints, circulation, and even our mental well-being. And that is why I want to share this with you today. With just 2 minutes of standing still each day, you can begin a new journey toward living healthier, steadier, and more confident. So first, let us begin with the most fundamental part, the legs, because your legs are the foundation of every movement. 1. Strengthening the legs. Have you ever noticed that even something as simple as getting up from a chair takes more effort than it did a few years ago? Some people even have to push off the table just to stand firmly. A 65-year-old gentleman once told me, back then, carrying a bag of rice was nothing. Now, just lifting a jug of water makes my legs tremble. In truth, it's not only about weaker muscles. It's your legs, the very foundation of your body, sending out a call for help. And this is exactly where the horse stance works its magic. When you hold this posture, your thighs, glutes, hamstrings, and calves are all awakened at once. With just 2 minutes a day, you'll feel lighter. Getting up and sitting down will no longer be a struggle, and even lifting groceries or climbing stairs will become easier. Strong legs are the key to living independently, confidently, without depending on anyone. 2. Improving balance and body awareness. One of the quiet fears after 50 is losing balance. Have you ever stepped down from a curb and felt yourself stumble, or walked on a slippery floor and instinctively reached for support? A female patient of mine once confided that she didn't dare hold her grandchild simply because she was afraid of tripping and endangering them both. But with the horse stance, your body retrains its ability to hold balance even without moving. The brain and muscles reconnect, restoring what scientists call proprioception, the sense of where your body is in space. And when this sharpens, you'll find yourself walking more confidently, more steadily, no longer haunted by the fear of falling. 3. Stabilizing knees, hips, and ankles. Perhaps you've heard the little cracks or felt the ache in your knees or hips when standing up or sitting down. Many people think that's a sign of degeneration, and gradually they avoid moving for fear of more pain. But the truth is, joints don't just need rest. They need the right kind of training. When you hold the horse stance, the muscles around your knees, hips, and ankles all tighten gently together to keep the body stable. There are no harsh impacts or repetitive pounding to wear down the cartilage, only a steady, gentle tension that nourishes your ligaments and tendons. Over time, you'll notice your steps becoming steadier, the aches fading, and most importantly, you won't let joint pain hold your life back anymore. If you're standing with me right now, pay attention to your legs and joints. Do you feel a bit more grounded? Type OK in the comments so I'll know you're sensing it along with me. When your legs are steady and your joints stable, the next thing your body needs is flexibility and endurance, so you can move with ease and comfort every single day. 4. Improving hip and pelvic flexibility. Have you ever struggled to bend down and tie your shoes, or felt your hips stiffen after sitting for a while, making your first steps heavy and awkward? That's one of the silent signs of aging. I remember a woman in her 60s who told me she had given up yoga entirely, simply because every time she bent forward, her hips locked up, no longer supple as before. But when she started practicing the horse stance, something remarkable happened. Just a few dozen seconds each day began to open her hips, gently and safely stretching the muscles around the pelvis. After a month, she smiled and told me, "Doctor, I can tie my shoes again without asking my children for help." Flexible hips are the key to moving freely, standing tall, and walking with confidence every day. 5. Increasing muscular endurance. After 50, many people tell me they tire out much faster than they used to. A short walk, or even standing in line for a few minutes, can leave their legs trembling, ready to give up. A man in his 60s used to joke, "Doctor, by the time I get to the vegetable aisle, I'm already out of breath, no strength left to push the cart." But when he began practicing the horse stance, he noticed something different. Holding the posture forces the muscles to stay engaged continuously, like training them to endure pressure longer. After just a few weeks, he could finish shopping with his wife and still have energy to play with his grandchildren at home. That is the real meaning of stamina, not for competition, but for living fully in every ordinary moment of life. 6. Improving posture and spine health. Have you noticed how, as the years go by, people's posture tends to bend forward more easily? Not only does it affect confidence, but it also brings back pain, shoulder strain, and even difficulty breathing. One of my patients once lamented, "Doctor, sitting too long hurts my back. Standing too long makes my shoulders heavy, and walking makes me feel hunched over." The cause lies in weakening core and back muscles that no longer support the spine. The horse stance works like a silent correction. When you keep your back straight, chest open, and stand still, The muscles along the spine, abs, and shoulders work together to hold your form. Before long, you'll find your back straighter, you'll walk more confident, and the ache in your lower back fading. A woman in her 70s once laughed and said, "My granddaughter told me I look younger just because I stand straighter now." Indeed, a firm posture doesn't just protect your spine, it radiates vitality and confidence. 7. Strengthening the mind and patience. And if your legs are trembling a little right now, that is actually a wonderful sign. Because in that very moment, not only are your muscles being trained, but so is your spirit. I recall an older gentleman who said, "At first, I could only last 30 seconds before my legs shook and I wanted to quit. But then I slowed my breathing, held on for just a few seconds longer, and realized I was calmer, even in life outside of practice. The horse stance teaches us patience in discomfort, the discipline to breathe slowly, and the ability to keep the mind steady. True strength isn't only in the body, it's in the capacity to hold firm when everything inside you wants to let go. Now, I want you to challenge yourself. Just 10 more seconds. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6 counts. And if you make it, leave a comment saying 10 seconds so I know you're truly standing with me right now. Not only your legs and joints, but the horse stance also brings profound changes inside the body, from cardiovascular health to hormones, and even the coordination between brain and muscles. 8. Lowering blood pressure, supporting heart health. One of the biggest worries after age 50 is blood pressure. A patient once told me, "Doctor, what I fear most is having to take pills forever, every single day, like a lifelong sentence of aging." But here's the interesting part. Modern research has shown that static exercises, known as isometric training, can naturally help reduce blood pressure. And the horse stance is a perfect example. When you hold this position, the heart and blood vessels are trained to adapt to gentle but steady pressure. It's not overwhelming, not harmful, but more like a reminder for the heart to beat more rhythmically. I once had a patient who, after 3 months of consistent practice, saw his blood pressure readings stabilize significantly, and with it, his confidence in his own body returned. 9. Balancing natural hormones. Have you ever felt like your body's battery suddenly drained for no reason? Waking up with no energy, mood dipping throughout the day, and nights restless with poor sleep. These are signs that hormones are falling out of balance, something almost everyone over 50 experiences. But the wonderful thing is, when you practice the horse stance, your body naturally recalibrates. This posture helps lower cortisol, the stress hormone, while boosting testosterone and endorphins. The result? A calmer mind, deeper sleep, and more vitality throughout the day. I recall a man in his 60s who, after just a few weeks of practice, told me, "Doctor, I don't snap in anger anymore, and I wake up in the morning with a surprising clarity of mind." Sometimes the balance we seek doesn't come from a pill, but from our own breath and patience each day. 10. Improving pelvic health and circulation. There's a topic many people are hesitant to talk about, yet it deeply impacts quality of life. Pelvic health. After 50, men often worry about their vitality, while women are concerned about bladder control or uncomfortable dryness. I once spoke with a man in his 60s who admitted he had lost confidence in his intimate life, which left him withdrawn and unhappy. But once he practiced the horse stance, things began to change. This posture activates all the muscles around the hips, lower abdomen and pelvic floor, boosting blood circulation to these sensitive areas. After a while, he felt stronger, more confident, and most importantly, rediscovered joy in connection. This is proof that even a simple posture can awaken the quiet vitality within us. 11. Enhancing brain-muscle coordination. Something few people realize is that as we age, not only do muscles weaken, but the connection between the brain and the body slows down. One patient once told me, "Doctor, I feel clumsy, like my hands and feet don't follow my commands anymore." But when holding the horse stance, small muscle groups must work in harmony, while the brain constantly sends adjusting signals. It's like rewiring an old circuit, refreshing the brain-muscle connection to make it sharper and more responsive. The result is walking with more decisiveness, quicker reflexes, and a renewed sense of control over the body. You see, with just 2 minutes of standing still, your body doesn't just grow stronger, it gets cared for in heart health, hormones, confidence, and mental clarity. And the best part is, you can practice it anywhere, anytime. And the best part is, you don't need a gym or any complicated equipment. This exercise can go with you anywhere, anytime 12. Full body training without equipment. The last thing I want you to remember is this. To stay healthy, we don't necessarily need a gym, modern machines, or long workout sessions. I once met a 65-year-old man who laughed and told me, "Doctor, the moment I step into a gym with loud music and rows of machines, I just want to turn right back around." And then he discovered that right in his small kitchen, even right next to his bed, he could train his whole body simply with the horse stance. The miracle of this posture is that it doesn't just strengthen the legs, it also engages the back, core, shoulders, and even the mind. It's like carrying a mobile gym within your own body. No complicated setup, no need for sportswear. All you need is a small space, a little patience, and 2 minutes each day. And it's this simplicity that becomes the secret to maintaining long-term health. Because true transformation doesn't come from grand gestures, but from small habits repeated day after day. And the horse stance can become the simplest yet most powerful habit you carry with you throughout your later years. You see, sometimes we think that aging means weakness, that we must accept slowing down and becoming more dependent. But the truth is different. Our bodies, even after 50, still have the ability to recover and grow stronger if cared for properly. A simple exercise like the horse stance not only strengthens your legs, keeps your joints flexible, and calms your mind, it also reminds you of something deeper. True strength doesn't come from doing more or moving faster, but from patience and persistence each day. I want you to remember this. Change is never too late. A woman in her 70s once told me, "Doctor, I thought I could never be healthy again, but thanks to this small exercise, I feel like I'm still in control of my own life." And I believe you can feel that too, because taking care of yourself is not just about living longer, but about living more meaningfully and fully, day by day, step by step. So, how can you start today? The good news is you don't need sneakers, a yoga mat, or even a gym. All you need is a small space right in your living room, on the balcony, or even beside your bed. It's very simple. Stand tall, then step your feet a little wider than shoulder width. Turn your toes slightly outward. Relax your shoulders. Slowly lower your hips down as if sitting on an invisible chair. Keep your back straight, chest open, and eyes forward. At first, just hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Then take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. As you get used to it, you can hold longer, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and that's when your body begins to change. I remember a patient in his 60s who, every night before bed, would spend exactly 2 minutes holding the horse stance right next to his bed. After a few weeks, he laughed and said to me, "Doctor, I no longer have to hold onto the bed frame when standing up." Just 2 minutes, but it made the entire next day feel lighter, more confident. Of course, if you've recently had joint surgery, have uncontrolled heart conditions, or serious balance issues, please consult your doctor first. But for most of us, this is a safe, gentle exercise for the joints, and so simple that there's really no reason to delay. You see, sometimes the simplest things bring the most lasting strength. The horse stance isn't a magic secret, but it is like a companion, reminding you that your body can still stand firm, your mind can still be at peace, and your later years can still be full of energy if you nurture them with a small daily habit. I want you to try giving it just 30 seconds right after this video. Stand up, find a quiet space, and step into the horse stance. Feel your legs supporting your body, your breath slowing down, and your focus returning to yourself. Just one try, and you'll understand why I call this the key to opening a new chapter of health after 50. And now, I want to hear from you. Are you ready to give 2 minutes a day to this practice? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will read every single one because each story is a reminder that none of us are alone on this journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Elevate Daily Health so we can continue to meet again in the journeys ahead, where I'll share with you simple yet profound secrets to live healthy, live proactive, and live truly meaningful. And who knows, the small habit you start today may become the greatest gift you give yourself for years to come.